Our summer's garden lesson, designed to take about 4 class periods, is an opportunity for students to review the engineering design cycle. The lesson complements your science unit about matter and its interactions by helping students better understand some key ideas about density. Students draw connections between population density and material density to make both concepts easier to understand. The lesson begins with Jenna's story, which is narrated on screen as students follow along in a printed mini-book. Jenna is used to her little sister Summer running off to explore, but this time Summer's adventurous spirit leads them to a small, unexpected city garden. There they meet Max, a gardener who helps his grandmother grow produce in this little oasis of green in the middle of the city. Through Max, Jenna and students learn about a real-life gangster gardener, a man named Ron Finley, who single-handedly changed the law in Los Angeles so that people can plant gardens in the strip of land between the sidewalk and the road. While Ron Finley is not an engineer, students do see that he followed the engineering design cycle, defining the need for local green spaces and affordable produce, developing his idea for gardens between the sidewalk and street, and optimizing his work by advocating for changing the laws to make it a legal practice. Summer is inspired by the video about Ron and desperately wants a garden. So Jenna and Summer search their neighborhood, discovering that many people have no green space of their own. They've started to define the problem that forms the basis of this lesson: a need for green space. Through real photographs of Springfield, Massachusetts and other cities, students further define the problem. They explore why it can be hard to find green space in cities, because in spaces with so many people, there are also a lot of sidewalks, cars, hospitals, houses, and so on. So any design would need to work around these obstacles. Max explains that for reasons similar to Ron Finley, he and his grandmother build gardens and share what they grow so that people who live in areas of high population density have a place to get fresh fruits and vegetables. Students explore the meaning of population density by marking off a square on the floor and varying the number of students who step inside it. This leads to a discussion about the similarities and differences between material density and population density. Looking at a map of Springfield's population density, students talk about where they think community gardens would be helpful. They're beginning to think about how to develop a solution, the second phase of the engineering design cycle. Jenna knows Summer would be thrilled to be part of a community garden, but how could they get there safely? Looking for answers, Jenna starts exploring the densities of other things in Springfield. Students work along with her, exploring maps of sidewalks, hospitals, and car crashes. Students are continuing to define the problem, their solution needs to be somewhere people can get to, while starting to develop ideas for solutions. Students get to see ways in which engineers have designed solutions to problems with cities. Innovative designs for watering gardens, reconfiguring roads, cleaning the air, and more. Then it's the students' turn to design, when they learn that Jenna wants to redesign the city of Springfield to help Summer find a place to put a garden. That means she'll have to tackle some of the other challenges that come with city living. To learn more about what those needs are, students become integral parts of the narrative by interviewing their own parents and friends about problems they face in their home city. Discovering needs is a key part of the define phase of the design cycle. Student teams are assigned to particular topics, such as transportation, housing, schools, or gardens. They start the develop phase of the design process by brainstorming ways to solve their challenge and choosing a design. The students regroup into new teams, each made up of experts representing each problem area. They draw and build a map of Springfield to show how they would redesign the city. Finally, students optimize their designs by getting feedback from other groups. To finish the unit, students explore pages of a real-life book from 1979 that predicted what future cities would look like. Then they make their own predictions about cities of the future. Overall, this lesson, and particularly the design challenge, hits home. Students who are residents of Springfield, Massachusetts have unique insight about the challenges faced in their communities and neighborhoods. This empowers them to come up with ideas that would make their city better for themselves and their families. For educators outside of Massachusetts, Springfield can still serve as an exemplar. Creative educators can even find maps of their own city to use. All the teacher resources you need to facilitate this lesson can be found on teamsproject.com, including a detailed curriculum guide and printable handouts.